As an example earlier, did this years ago before my DMs were like 500 new people a day. Do this to smaller open source people that don't have a big following or presence because they need it even more. You could easily be the first person to hit up somebody and say, your thing is cool. I've even done this. I got a funny example for y'all here. This is a package I found when I was deeply hunting, trying to overhaul the syntax highlighting in T3 chat. I put a lot of work in. I was about to build my own library wrapping Shiki, and I randomly stumbled upon this library, React Shiki. It was nearly exactly what I needed. And when I found it on GitHub, it had 2 stars, the creator and a bot. It might have even been less. I might have actually been the first real star on this, if not the first star ever on this. I was blown away. It was so close to what I needed, but I wanted to make sure, first off, that it was maintained. And second off, like if it wasn't, that if I forked it, they'd be okay with that. So I did some sleuthing. At the time, Bahsim was not really on Twitter, and I couldn't find his Twitter anywhere, but I found his LinkedIn. So I hit him up. Hey man, really like your work on this. Just curious, are you planning on maintaining this long term? I will gladly fork otherwise and give you all the credit in the world. We just really need this for T3 chat. He responds 2 hours later. So sorry it took me a bit to get to you. I thought this was a phishing scam. I didn't think Theo actually hit me up. Yes, I plan on maintaining this. I don't know how you found it. Let me know if I can help in any way, shape, or form. I'll drop everything to do it. Turned out he had an IT job in New York where he was making a not what you would expect tech salary. He was like repairing computers and networks for a living. He was learning to code for fun on the side and built one of the best implementations of syntax highlighting I'd ever seen in React. When I learned he didn't have a tech job, my first reaction was to be sad that I didn't have any ends roles open because I would have loved to hire somebody like him. But I had been talking to others in the space, as I always do. I do a lot of investing. And I happened to be talking to the founder of a company called Assistant UI. Assistant UI is an open source library for doing AI chats in your real apps. So if you want to build an AI chat in your React app for any of many different things, Assistant UI is a lot of the pieces you'll need to do that. Assistant UI recently did Y Combinator. I think I had passed on investing, but was still talking to the founder. And when I was thinking about Bahsim, I wanted him to have a real tech job. I wanted him to be out here. So I referred him to the first person I had in mind who was doing something similar, which was an open source AI chat UI library and backend. I referred him to Assistant UI, thinking there was no world in which he would get this job, but it would be a good first interview. I could get some feedback from the founder, help him get coached and do his next thing, get another job somewhere else where he could be hired like 10 or 15 or so. Nope, no need. Got hired within a day and got to be the first engineer joining a very hot new AI startup from Y Combinator because I saw his 2-star library on GitHub, thought it was cool and DM'd him. And now he lives out here working full-time at a really cool company. Had to do one interview to get it. He got the first job, which is insane. I've ever heard many a person who did not get the first gig, and he did not ask. If you ask me to refer you to companies, I'm probably not going to do it. This is a tell, don't ask thing. Like, I will tell you that I'm going to help you with this when it makes sense to. Do not ask me to get you a job. I will immediately write you off going forward, almost always. But Bahsim demonstrated so much fucking competence that it frustrated me he didn't have a job. And also, he was going through some bad imposter syndrome. He had no idea how good he was. So much so that getting DM'd by Theo, he just assumed it was fake or somebody trying to scam him. The point I'm trying to make here is that the best people to reach out to are the smallest ones. The ones who are just doing cool shit. Do it in a selfless way, because that's the point. You're doing it as an act of appreciation for the things you find cool. That's why you should do this. But you'll end up benefiting greatly long-term too. And this all goes back to that middle point earlier. It's the likability. You find something you